Hello and welcome. It's Rhoda. Today I'm going to show you how to do the cover for this shabby trifold that's made out of a file folder. I also needed to show you how I did the signature. So let me show you what all you need. We have cheesecloth, which I found on a roll at Hobby Lobby, and I think they had clearanced it. It's a pretty blush color. I also have some of these little gold foil leaves that I've cut out. Not leaves, I'm sorry, those are feathers. But I got these at Dollar Tree on a roll about fall time, and I just cut it as many out as I thought I would need for this project. I needed the front panel, which I showed you in the last video, from a piece of cardstock, and that's just to keep all the, you won't probably see it, and you won't probably see this, but I just wanted to be safe. We have our pretty doily, which this one is not the same size as the one I had before, so we're going to have to trim it down a little bit. We didn't need any of this cross-stitchy kind of stuff. Oh, that's the wrong side. We don't need that. I know it's a shame to cover it up, but the colors just didn't match. We've got our beautiful lady here. That's going to be on our cover. We have some pearls, some roses, some little flowers, a little cameo of sorts, and we're going to make a fan type of a holder for her to be in. I had this old piece of lace, actually, or cross stitching, crocheting. I'm sorry, it's crocheting, and I did it myself back when I was industrious. I have this little piece here. I don't know if we're going to use it or not. It's just sheer netting and a piece of wire ribbon. And I've taken it, and it's great. It looks like it's about, what is that? It's a 2.5-inch piece, and it's the perfect size. And what you do is you just start crimping it, and crimp it again, about every 1/2 inch, and just do the one side, and you form a fan of sorts here. So that is going to be what Our Lady is going to be cupped into. I auditioned quite a few things for this. This is the only thing I could find that I really liked. So I want to say thank you and welcome to all my new subscribers, to all my longtime followers and watchers. I really appreciate your support and watching me, and if you see anything you really like today, please give me a thumbs up. Yeah, raise the roof. Okay, let's go ahead and get our base on. And I'm using fabric tack. I'm going to just go ahead and use some fabric tack. It'll dry fast, plus it'll give me a good hold. And it may be about time to fill my fabric tack back up, because this project may take a good bit of it. And I'm just going to make sure I smear it around, get my cover, my edges, and cover the whole back. Here, there, everywhere. We don't need to be neat about it, just a nice even coverage. There we go. And I'm going to lay that little baby on its side so it doesn't drain to the bottom again. And I'm making sure I got just a little bit of the same size lip on all the sides I've got here. And I believe I'm going to unfold this. While that's drying, I was going to show you, I forgot to do my keyhole yesterday. And I'm going to show you how that's accomplished. All you got to do is do a circle. I might have used the wrong size pin here, but I'm going to do a circle. I'll probably come back in here with a little darker ink, and then make you sort of an arrowhead sort of triangle. And just kind of make sure it's about even. Top, bottom, sides. That's all you want to make sure you do. And then you just fill that in. I'll come back and get a better marker that gave me my outline. There we go. And I forgot to tell you about the Velcro dots. You want to put 2 Velcro dots. And the way I did it, I put them here first, equidistant from the end, but where they would be hidden. And then I just put the mates on top and then push that shut. And that did it. Okay, I think that's what I forgot to tell you yesterday, or when I did the last video. Okay, now we want to put a piece of our cheesecloth on here. And I believe I went up and down with it maybe. So let me get it to where I can cut it. And cheesecloth is great to give you that shabby look. It doesn't have to be blush. It doesn't have to be, you know, any particular color. You can actually dye this stuff so easy. Alright, I'm going to just do a bigger swath of it, and then we'll come back and trim it. How about that? That'll make it easy. Okay, and you can see it's already shedding. And that's what you want to do. You want to go in here and play with it and just keep tugging. Make a mess, but it gets the appearance that you're wanting on here. Now we got to go back over the cover with more glue over top of our pink so we can get our cheesecloth down. If you got little pieces sticking here and there, you don't have to worry about them because it's all part of the look. I've been learning what shabby chic actually is, and it's definitely shabby. You've got so many different materials and colors you can use. It seems like pink is the predominant. Gold, anything vintagey. It's got a little rip or tear in it. It looks like it's aged but loved. You get the idea. All right. Now, we're going to put that down and we'll come back over it later and play with the edges. Did I get all the way to the end? And then once you get it on here and it starts sticking, you can do a little pulling and then rub. I don't know if I got enough on there to make that glue down, but I think once I glue the next layer, it'll catch. All right, I'm going to go in here right now and get this neat edge cut off here because that looks out of place. All right, history. Okay, now we got this pretty little lace doily my mom found and gave me. And what we're going to need to do is probably cut it in half. Or, yes, the doily itself I'm going to cut in half because I need to get this part over to this edge. So let's do that. Shame on me. I know I got the wrong side up again. Okay. Let me see. Does that get me over to the edge? Yep, close enough. Close enough. We're just going to go with it. Commit. Commit. Commit to the cut. Up here at the top, I may have to do a little fixing because it looks like it's kind of coming off. All right, so first off, we're going to go ahead and glue this piece on. Let me move my items over so you can kind of see what I'm doing. The feathers, hope they don't fly off on me. But I'm just going to go down this linen. I believe it's a pretty linen. I'm going to do my edges, but not the actual frilly edge, because that's hopefully going to stick over the edge of my book a little bit. Okay. We'll come back in and fix that poor little piece it's trying to cut off at the top just a little later. And I'll tell you what, I think you got the idea of what I'm doing here, so I'm going to do this off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, I got that piece down, and what I did is I trimmed off this little bit for the next side. And we're just going to do the same here. Now, I forgot to mention where all of that embroidery was. Places like that, you really want to put a good bit of glue, because that thickness will keep and soak up every bit of that glue, and it won't get to your surface you're wanting to adhere it to. So be sure of that. When you put it down, give it a good bit. And we're almost done with that. That glue is seeping out. I guess I got an air bubble or something in it. Oh, that's all right. It's on the sticky towel. All right, this part is not going to be seen, but we want to make it even with the other piece, but we want to be, oops, sorry, I hit my filming pole. You want to be just over the edge, just a little hint of it. Now this part here, might want to go back inside, but I don't think you're going to see this. I'm going to be covering most of this surface. This is just insurance that it stays down. How about that? All right. So, oh gosh, I'm sticking to my black mat here. That's okay. It's just construction paper. I can toss it afterward. All right. What we're going to do next is to put on our feathers. Let's position our lady and our fan and figure out where we want that to be. Oops. Get this out of the way so I can get you about center. We're going to have probably that there, this here, and I like her at a tilt like I had the previous one. And so our feathers, I like the long one coming out the top, like it looks like it's coming out of her hat, like she's a musketeer, you know. Then I had another little one that was beside it. I was trying to use as much of my product as possible. I don't like to waste the way things are costing nowadays. And then this piece can go down here, and it'll help cover up that bit of embroidery we weren't able to cover. All right, and then that'll probably go about there. Yep, that'll work. Let's carefully lift this off out of the way, and we'll start gluing. I get this one down first. Okay, it'll be about right there. And then this part, I'm just going to try to carefully glue around the silver areas, so it's not as visible. And this is a pretty little sheer net of some type that it's put on. Okay. I'll start right here where I marked that with glue and stick it on. There we are. Might want to pat it down with like a, what is that, Teflon, whatever doesn't stick to glue. But you can pat it down with different things, just on a paper towel. You'll have the sticky pull off those fibers, and it'll be ugly. You don't want to do that. Okay. And we'll put this pretty little guy right here, like it's an extension from that one. And our feather starts here. Oops, it's sticking to my fingers. Okay. So far, so good. It's just ticking along. I hope everybody's doing well and having a fun December, getting ready for Christmas, or decorating, or vacationing. All kinds of stuff people do. They like to get away from the cold and go to the nice warm areas. That's how they celebrate the holidays. Me, I'm here in Virginia. It's cold and rainy today. But then we have a lot of rain here. It's very green. I know a lot of people have trouble having water all through the year, and I really feel for you. That's a hard thing to do, to get stocked up on water in an area that's not known to to carry that much. I hope things work out for everybody. Let's see. Our next step should probably be putting on this. And this wire is wonderful. It's holding this shape for me perfectly. So, and I've got two little wings under here that I've created. But what we want to do is try to glue this down in some way, some form, just so it'll stick good for us. So let's stick a little glue on here wherever we can. What is that saying? Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. This is kind of that concept. Leave a little glue. Let me see if, oh, that'll do the trick. I'm sticking to myself. Okay. That kind of works. And then we'll give a good bit of glue here. I'm going to trim that off. I don't need that much. I'm going to use that little piece for a snippet. It'll work good for a snippet. And then we're going to come back over here and do the same. Going to have to trim. Whew. I'm getting little spider webs everywhere. Oof, that one might not be big enough for a snippet. I think I destroyed it. Okay, get on there. Get on there. And I don't want to glue it all the way around, just a little bit. This is where it really gets messy, guys. You gotta get in here and piddle with it until it dries down. Okay, now we're putting a good bit of glue right on these two little wings. We don't want anywhere else. We want to have that little cup area to tuck our lady in, and something else. If you would want to put a little journal card in there with her, anything like that would be cute and perfect. All right, now I'll put this on here just for the meantime. Now we wanted her to be kind of right there. So our fan needs to be about right here. There we go. Got some little odds and ends sticking up, but I'm putting flowers down, so that's going to detract from that. It'll cover it and hide it. Whew. Okay, while that's drying, let me get in here and what's our next step? Our lady needs to be, she needs to have a little backing on her. And I had this extra strip from before. It's a piece of cardstock with some of my pretty shabby winter paper over top of it. And what we're going to do, we're going to kind of offset her like that, just so it looks like she's got a little deck of cards or a little something behind her. It just adds to the pink that's on the inside. Kind of introduces you to what you will see once you turn the page. All right, that's all we got to do there. If you think you need a little extra under that corner, because that didn't get any, we'll put a little. And she's good. This whole lady is getting put down. She will not be floating, in other words. She's going to be put down right there. I wanted a little bit of her to show. I don't want her to stick over too far. Okay, she's perfect. So let's get her placed down. And we can decorate around her. All right, come on. And I'm not going all the way to the edge. I just want it to look, you know, you can rough the edge up of her photo if you would prefer. Shabby it up. Put a little ding in it, little triangle mouse bite out of it. I think I had a few of those on my doily here. Mom had it out in her building And she had little visitors, I guess. Little Christmas mice. All right, that's going in there like that. I just got to get my little corner down in there right. There we go. That's done. Every once in a while, you can come back and push on her a little bit just to get her secured well. Our next item of interest. Don't need this anymore. Mostly this is fabric tack. I am pulling this over here. There is one thing I did forget. I forgot to put that strap under there. Oh, maybe before she dries, maybe I can just get it right there and put it under. Ugh, rats. I always get ahead of myself. And I do make mistakes a lot. A lot. All right. This is our about 3 foot of, and 1 inch wide of some kind of pretty sash. And this is the way I'm going with this year. I mean, usually I make some kind of a closure, but you know, I had never tried a sash, so I wanted to do that. So let's just get in there, and this won't hurt one bit. Won't hurt a bit. And Our Lady will sandwich it on here just right. But in a perfect world, this should have been under the cheesecloth. All right. Shame on me. Shame on me. Okay. Now, let's redo Our Lady. Give her some more juice. Maybe a little extra now, because she's got more to hold. Oh, goodness gracious. There. Oh, I got me a December daily working out. It's one of the pretty Shabby Christmas at Home by the Jewel Design. I've got all my papers printed out, and I'm going to be making me a December daily. I know I'm a little late. This is the 6th that I'm actually filming this. So I've got everything ready. I'm going to assemble it tonight, and I'll be ready to start putting little goodies in it. What I thought I'd do is do little simple decorations inside on certain pages of my journal while I'm in there writing on it. So that will be a little treat for me. I need to keep abreast of it. I haven't had a journal for a while. I really haven't. It's been a while. It's been since the beginning of the year, to tell you the truth. Now, I would have loved to use the same thing I had on this one. I didn't have any more of that lace. That was just little pieces I had left over. Now, this here, we're going to decorate around our fan. Remember me telling you I was going to cover that up, not to worry about it. I'm going to put just a little bit here in the center because I got to come back in, whoops, and put a little bit of pearls around that. I did put a lot of pearls inside of this one in places. I didn't in this one, this book. So there were pearls on some of the pages. I have this pretty little guy over here on the corner, right there. Some of his little petals are kind of sad, so we'll try to fix them. And that side I'm going to wait to glue because I think that's where I need to put the pearl string. Okay. That goes right there on that corner. All kind of stuff sticking to my fingers. The bane of a crafter's life, right? There's always something sticking to you or something you got to peel off. Oh, how fun. Okay. Now our little roses. These are those little stem roses. I've had them for a long time. I don't even know if they still make these little things. I really don't. I had the dark pink and I had this pale one, and they've been in the basement for ages. I've been trying to use up a lot of stuff I've had in the past and just trying to, you know, save money and make it stretch. And I have to bend that little bit of wire around just so it's not quite in the way. Okay, and put me a good bit on the end. And before that all gets glued down really good, well, tell you the truth, let me get in there first with this. And put that, not the ribbon, I want the pearls. Get my little bunch of pearls and put it in there, and maybe it'll glue down when I put the glue for the rest of this. Alright. Why aren't you going in there? I think that one's already tried to glue shut. It did. Alright, get in there, pearls. I wanted to add movement to this, so that's why the pearls are kind of free swinging. If you want to term it like that. Okay. And then we're going to get this and put this down. Pull our pearls back that way. Get that in there. Get all your spider webs off of you. And keep pushing, giving it a little bit of pressure. And it'll finally adhere down really nice around those pearls. My friend Gina gave me these. I'm not sure where she got them. They're a little naked on one side, so I'm trying to make sure that part doesn't get shown a lot. And I'm going to put a big dab of glue right under here because my pearls are getting tucked under there. So I need it to stick to there really good. Now I don't want it to be tight, so there we go. And our last beautiful flower needs to go, and I got these at Hobby Lobby. They were on this little leather type strand. It's really interesting the way they were. They're really soft, like a little soft suede. So we're going to put these down. Woo! And that'll help cover up this little area. Whoops, I got to get in there with a little bit more glue. Sometimes these little babies need some extra help, like right there. And we'll push that down. There we go. You can always get back in here later and make sure all your little petals and your spider webs are not here anymore. And down here at the bottom, I got this pretty little thing. I wanted a tie on it, so let's put this little ribbon through here. And we're going to make us a bow. It's going to be close to the other one, but not quite. You can never make the same thing twice, I don't believe. It's kind of boring, too. You don't want to always make the same thing. You want to have a little difference, a little variation. Okay, let's see. I need a little bit more string showing there. Then I don't have enough bow showing. Okay, I think that'll work. Oop. Let's cut a bit of the excess off on that side. There we go. And we're going to put a bunch of glue in there and put that right down here. Real similar to the other side. And like I say, load the glue, because this has got to go through some weird minefield areas. Oops. That glue is something. Okay, like right there is perfect. Perfect. And actually, I'm gonna, oops, get my little peacock helper here. He's gonna lay that down for me. Now I need to get back in here and do a little bit of extra gluing. I didn't do that before. Oh, I still need to put my pearls in. They go around the outside. That's why I hadn't glued that. So let's lift these two up and put our pearls under there. Kind of hard to get a hold of that. Okay. Put me a big dab of glue. And lay my pearls in. And then that right over it. There we go. And then I need a little bit extra here to hold this down, so it doesn't go crawling away. Oh. Oh, my goodness, it doesn't want to work for me. I'm sorry, I'm fighting these threads. I'm trying not to stick to anything. I'm trying to get this to stick, but it wants to stick to me instead. There. That might help. All right. All right. We are, I think, done with our front. Now what we just need to do is pour glue. Okay, now what we need to do is do the end, our little crimping with our little charm. And I had made up some of these little charms a while back and just hadn't used them. I had a pretty pink one. Oh, this is a light pink. Yeah, that one worked. Can you see that one? It's just a big bead, a pearl, and I got a dangle on both ends, which I could come back and put something on the end there. But the crimping, these are crimpers. And what they will work like is you put them on the end. And I actually folded my end a little bit. And then went in here like this. Just get it centered. And I have the flat mashers here. And I'm just going to mash it down. And crimp it. That's the crimping part. Oh, I crimped that a little too hard, but I wanted to make sure it stays on there. Okay. The next part, I have my key and my ring, whatever you call that, jump ring. And I got to put my little key on here. And my dangle. Next. It's a shame my dangle's silver. Everything else is kind of gold or bronze. And then you're going to thread it onto the little ring. It's at the end there. And there we go. All right. Then we have our, what was I looking for? Oh, our signature. We have our signature. Now, I'm sure you've seen where people will sew in signatures, so I don't need to show you how to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but I did need to show you how I did the signature for this. And what I did is, of course, I pieced together, this was an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I rounded the edges. And I probably had to reach in there and get that, sorry. I also did the two insides where it was a striped paper be easily written on. But of course I rounded the edges with the 10mm, and I picked 10 pages, and that's exactly what I used in the other one. And I kind of just coordinated them, different colors of pink and some tea dye. And what I'm going to do is go in here and pick so many of them and round the edges of those as well, so they work in the book. And then you just measure it out and put it into your book. And this was my spine of this book, so I'll just measure it out and get it sewn in right there. Well, I wanted to say thank you for everybody for coming to watch and and visit. And I did have a little bit of something to mention. I made 500 subscribers at the end of October, and it was a big thing for me. And also, I just made 100 videos. I don't know if it's this one or the next one, which will be my 100 videos. So I'm doing a drawing over on my Rhoda's Junk page. So this will be the little prize. It's a little mini journal. I've shown it before, but long ago. It's one of my first videos. But it's got little pockets inside. This is what I call my tunnel closure. It's writable. You've got little envelopes. I've really decorated it up cute. But this will be what will be one. And I'm going to be doing the drawing old-fashioned, because I don't have one of those thingies that everybody else uses. I'll be throwing it in a hat and getting maybe my mom to pick it out of the hat, or my husband, depends on who wants to get back here with me. So, all right, that's what you'll win. Come over to Rhoda's Junk. I'll have an article, a write-up on it, where you need to leave your name and all that, and then I'll draw all those names from a hat. I really appreciate everybody's support, and I hope everybody has a great day. Come visit me at Rhoda's Junk.